You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Aleksandre Topuria takes on Colby Thicknesse on the preliminary card of UFC 312 this Saturday from Australia. And this fight was quickly put together, I think, within the last 2 weeks. Topuria, who is the older brother of Ilia Topuria, was originally supposed to fight Cody Haddon, who had to pull out of the fight. So they pulled in Colby Thicknesse, who's, I think, the top-ranked 135-pounder in Australia. He's going to have Alexander Volkanovski in his corner, and Aleksandre Topuria is going to have Ilia Topuria in his corner. So that's kind of cool. Former opponents, potential future opponents cornering against each other. Colby Thicknesse, like I said, taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice. Young guy, 25 years old, 7-0. Got a lot of finishes for such a young guy. Pretty decent at jiu-jitsu. Aleksandre Topuria, 5-1. He's been fighting for a while. He had kind of a weird hiatus. His one knockout was in 2015. Kind of started early in his career with 3 fights right in a row, April, May, and then again in May he was knocked out by a guy, Ivo Ivanov, who is still undefeated, 4-0, but took a 6-year hiatus from the sport. Don't really know why, can't really find any information on him, but came back in 2021, had 3 fights, all finishes. So Topuria looks a lot like his brother Ilia, just in the way they strike, just their demeanors, their tattoos. Both black belts, both were awarded their black belts at the same time. I think they were the 2 first Georgians to receive their black belts, or something along those lines. So you got to assume his jiu-jitsu is just as good as his brother's, which is really good. Highly touted, obviously, from his brother, but also people like Merab Dvalishvili talking about how good this guy is, how maybe potentially he's better than Ilia. I guess we'll find out. But 29 years old. Not in his prime yet, but he hasn't fought since May of 2023, so it's concerning to me that he hasn't fought in a year and a half, almost getting close to 2 years, making the big jump to the UFC. Last minute opponent change. Seems like a kind of a recipe for disaster for him, but I am going to go with Topuria in this one. If he's anything like his brother, I think he takes out somebody like Colby Thicknesse. I watched an interview recently with Colby. Seems like a cool dude, really good attitude. He hasn't fought the best competition, and again, I can say the same about Aleksandre Topuria. But I just look at the guy, and this is kind of mean, but it's just like I'm doing an optics test of these guys. I'm looking at Topuria, who looks like a machine like his brother, and then I'm looking at Colby Thicknesse, who looks like a 14-year-old. I'm sorry, I just can't pick somebody as inexperienced as him. Not fighting the best competition, he is undefeated, but taking this on short notice against such a surging talent in Topuria. And I know that he again, not the most experienced guy, but a lot of hype behind him just because of what people are saying about him, because of his little brother and what he's able to do. And you got to imagine these guys are evenly skilled, evenly matched against each other, just growing up and pushing each other. So I'm gonna go with Topuria in this one. I would not be shocked to see an upset just because Colby Thicknesse coming in. Dude is talented, he is pretty tough, nothing to lose. Last minute change of events for Topuria, it could throw a wrench into his plans, but odds are pretty big in Topuria's favor, -410, and Colby Thicknesse is a +320. So wouldn't be shocked. Just the fact that there's not a lot of footage on these guys either. It's hard to find any any good footage, and again, they don't have tons of fights that were recorded, so hard to really get a detailed look at these guys and their styles, and especially against good competition. But so I wouldn't be surprised to see Topuria lose in this fight just because of the circumstances and the hype surrounding him and everything, but I'm gonna go with Topuria to win this one. I do think he's the better striker from what I've seen. Very, very similar to his brother. Carries a lot of power, looks really crisp on the feet, whereas Colby Thicknesse looks like he's really looking to shoot takedowns, get it to the ground, and get the submission. So Colby Thicknesse, he's 5'9", 70-inch reach. Topuria, 5'7", doesn't give his reach, so might have a little bit of a reach advantage, but again, Topuria more muscled up, A little bit more compact, more powerful. Definitely looks like the better athlete. So I'm gonna go with Topuria in this one. I think he'll get the finish. I do. I just feel like he's very well rounded. I think he'll be able to expose Thicknesse on the feet, defend the takedowns, and if he can't get the finish, I think he'll get the decision. So let me know what you guys think. Interesting matchup all around on this one. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.